Stem cell donors and recipients promote stem cell donation actively so as to give blood disease patients a second life. In Malaysia, a慈济care recipient suffering from brain tumor donates his subsidies to help people in need. 歡迎收睇大 Headlines， 我係 Ruby 我哋一齊睇下今日嘅內容。大媽媽實真人 continued her island-wide tour as she met the stem cell donors and recipients in the Central District. During the pandemic, they actively promoted stem cells donation in various ways so as to give blood disease patients a second life.
Whether it is organizing stem cells donation drive promotion in a restaurant they operate or advocating at charity bazaar, Yao Jialing, a donor, and her husband are fully committed. During the pandemic, they even provide loving lunch boxes to Taichung慈济Hospital for their efforts.
Because my mother is a慈济volunteer, she often tells us that to give is better than to receive.
We're just doing our best to share the information and promote stem cells donation drive.
During the visit with Master Zheng Yan, one of the stem cell recipients, Li Jieyu, came with his family. Last year, he was invited to kick off at the Chinese Professional Basketball to promote stem cells donation. During the pandemic, the beverage store he opened also presented beverage to Taipei and Taichung慈济hospitals. To thank the medical team, unfortunately, a few days ago, Jie was diagnosed with non-adenocarcinoma.
With the blessings of the volunteers, he will be well and will overcome this disease.
I'm very confident. I also believe that many people are praying for me, and I'm very grateful.
Tzu Chi volunteer Li Chuimei registered her information 10 years ago. When the match was successful, she was 53 years old. Her husband was worried that her body would be overwhelmed and hesitated to agree to donate.
If I can save someone and I don't save him, I may feel guilty for the rest of my life and cannot forgive myself.
Looking back now, there's no need to worry so much. The donation process is really safe.
Donating stem cells is harmless for life and has benefited many patients with blood diseases.
感恩，我这样的服役，人人呢都是能信任，所以呢，这几十万这党都是呢来自于相信与爱心。
The Master is grateful for Tzu Chi people's efforts, allowing donors and recipients to create miracles of life through selfless love.
We never know when our time is up, but we do have the ability to impact the quality of our lives. 57-year-old Tzu Chi volunteer Xu Sihong passed away in October this year, donating his heart, lungs, and skin to others. Though his family was saddened by his passing, they were grateful for his compassion, especially his final act of organ donation.
实际这到场的东西啊，外面这个众多纷纭，各种声音，其实很简单的来说，你进来坐、进来看，你就知道了。哎，我们在外面做环保。
Xu Sihong's life is defined by his valuable contributions as a volunteer and leading others to do compassionate works.
在我培训的这一段期间。
During my training, he personally took an interest in sending and receiving me to class. He was afraid of any dangers that we would encounter, as he was very considerate.
总是这样的贴心。
He was a gentleman till the end and always maintained his sense of humor, which is something that everyone will remember.
不要担心听不懂啊。
Don't worry if you don't understand. Just keep coming, and the more you hear, the more you understand. You can listen for 2 years. If you listen carefully at the beginning, you may feel that you have a headache, but slowly the more you listen, the better it is.
The Dharma took root in his heart. He once told his family that if anything happened to him, he wanted to be an organ donor. In October of this year, he experienced a fatal accident. His family decided to fulfill his final wish as an organ donor.
He could give up everything. This was the breath of his compassion. He blessed many families and truly impressed us.
His family and Tzu Chi members accompanied him on his final steps. Though he has left this world, his warmth and compassion will be remembered.
Xiaolin, who is a third grader of a vocational school, has been living with his grandma since youth. As his grandma gets old and feels ill, he shouldered the responsibility of taking care of her. He even was at school on weekdays to earn money for his family. His filial piety was affirmed by the New Suits Filial Piety Award this year. Xiaolin is accompanying his grandmother in making taro rice cakes, which is the main source of his family income. As his grandma is getting older, almost all the family affairs are handled by Xiaolin.
因为我从小都是被阿嬷养大的。
Because I was raised by my grandma since I was young, so my relationship with her is deeper than that with my parents. I also care for her more. To put it simply, she is my closest relative.
It's my blessing to have him taking care of me and changing my diaper. He is always by my side, making me feel very satisfied.
For the sake of his grandma, Xiaolin was at school on weekdays. He is not afraid of being dirty or tired.
She needs to take medicine and go to the hospital for a long-term follow-up visit, so it'll take some money.
Maybe because he has been staying with his grandma since youth, he is very sensible. As his grandma actually needs his help for many things in life. He is very attentive to details. He is very hardworking too.
Xiaolin, who is studying in the food and beverage department, studies very seriously and actively takes relevant certification exams, hoping to turn his life around with his talents in the future.
我现在在学校应该会是要先拿到证照，我才。
Now, while I am studying, I should get the license first. Then I can find a suitable job to improve the situation at home. I can also have a clear direction toward the future.
In Hualien, 3 siblings bear the responsibility of taking care of their father suffering a stroke. Now that their father's health is taking a turn for the better, and the eldest child has a steady job, things are looking up for this family.
He already had diabetes and high blood pressure as well as the 3 hypers, so when his wound festered so quickly, we rushed him to the ICU. That's when they told us how bad it actually was. When the physical therapist came to the patient room, he taught us how to help our dad with rehabilitation.
爸爸这样多久的时间了？
快3年了。
你们3个都很乖哈，都会照顾爸爸，妹妹也会。
对啊，他也是看着我们怎么去帮爸爸弄。
The children have to attend school and take care of me. Makes me kind of sad, so I want to get better soon.
站起来往前看，对，看前面。
As long as my dad is alive, I will do everything I can to help him. I am family oriented.
感谢医师，谢师兄给我鼓励一下。
啊，这是应该，我们认识你的闺女呀，然后
对呀，
很长了哈。对呀，时候还很小。
After my dad had the accident, I felt really bad. Then Tsuji aunts and uncles came and encouraged me, telling me I need to pick myself up and that I can change our lives around through education. I didn't like school when I was in elementary school, but because of their words, I believed I could do something. So I relied on my grades to get my family out of the situation when I got into middle school and on. I don't want to let the aunts and uncles or Master Zhenyan down.
Seeing this family change their situation around, the father also getting healthier, I feel so good. It feels like there is hope for this family. The eldest sister is now working and takes care of the family, so I'm comforted in knowing that we were able to help this family.
真的是家人啊！
你好乖，我们很感动啊，真的是很感动。
对啊，
一直有他们在一起来陪伴哈。
对啊，
不容易，
真的不容易。
重点是你自己转变了，
对啊，
那个心要转。
In Tainan, to promote vegetarianism,慈济volunteers specially prepared a few vegetarian dishes for the weightlifting team of Dainei Junior High School. One of the athletes, who just won a gold medal in the National High School Games, donated part of his winnings to help the vaccination fund, paying back to society.
Just like cooking for their own children, the volunteers are preparing a meal for the athletes of Dane Junior High School.
Originally, there were 6 dishes, but they are weightlifters and the children need more nutrients, so we added 2 more to make it 8 dishes.
The school had ordered it for lunchtime and said they would be saving it for them to eat in the evening. But our team didn't think that was a good idea for them to order lunch to be saved for dinner.
The volunteers rearranged their time and made food in the afternoon, so the children could have a hot meal in the evening after practice. 8 sides and a soup, the children fill up their bowls and get plenty to eat.
I think eating these vegetarian meals have changed my mind about it, and I'm open to more vegetarian eating.
It's not oily and the taste is not heavy. It's light and refreshing.
Yang Wei-da is this year's National High School Heavyweight Gold Medal winner, and he has donated part of his financial reward to repay society.
I've received help before from society, so I want to take this opportunity to help someone else.
Our school purpose is that we hope the students can learn to be thankful for what they have. Whether they are affluent or not, they can still find ways to give back to society within their ability.
These athletes from Dane Junior High School have a heart of giving and are determined to pay the love they have received forward.
In Kelantan, Malaysia, the volunteers have been caring for Aisan for more than 20 years. Aisan has brain tumor, yet he is optimistic. Keeping only his basic expenses, he donates almost all his subsidies to help people in need, facing life's impermanence with a giving heart. Going through the familiar muddy routes, the volunteers arrived at the house of Aisan. Every time they visit him, it's just like visiting their relatives. Volunteers took out the receipts for his donations. Apart from the regular monthly donation, he also donated out the government's subsidy of 500 ringgit to charity and for pandemic prevention. When asking him why he didn't keep the money, he replied,
Who do I keep the money for? I just keep whatever is enough for my life.
He has a brain tumor and had several operations before. We asked him to keep some money for his illness. He said that it's free to go to government hospitals, so he donated the money as he doesn't need it.
When I pass away, I won't be able to take the money with me.
I asked him how would he feel to donate the money. He said that he felt at ease to donate the money. He has no stress and can help others at any time. I have learned a lot from him. It's really not easy to do this.
The trembling hands opened the body leaf-shaped cone bank, inspiring the volunteers that when there is aspiration, there is strength.
He really looks like a small candle in the dark, lighting up the world and spreading love around. He seizes the moment to give without asking for reward. He feels at ease to help those in need. It's really worth us learning. I'm also very grateful for joining慈济and realize how much I'm blessed. We should learn to be grateful, content, and keep cultivating blessings.
Aisan accepts life's impermanence and suffering with a smile, giving with a kind heart, living a simple yet full life. Also in Malaysia, Kedah Alor-Setar experienced 2 floods per day due to recent heavy rain and rising tides. So the volunteers made visits to disaster-affected areas, caring for the needy, as their sincerity deeply moved the affected residents.
At Alor-Setar of Kedah, rising tides have caused major flooding locally. Upon noticing the situation, Tzu Chi volunteers made visits to flood-affected areas, bringing care and comfort to those in need.
When the tides rose at night, I was scared because water level rose quickly. Water has even entered my home in 1 or 2 days. I am so happy to see you. It's like meeting my family members. You have helped me in the past because my father-in-law received dialysis at Tzuchi's hospital.
Thinking about what happened in 2010, Oi B was once a flood-affected resident, but during her tough moments, Tzuchi people showed up to help.
In 2010, you came to care for me, and at that time I wasn't a volunteer in Tzuchi. When flood waters went into the Sister Zhen's home, she let the water stay in her home while helping others in need. This moved me. After you brought care to me, my husband then led me into Tzuchi.
They have to clean their homes day and night without sleeping. It's tough, and I feel sad for them. So we are here to comfort and bring care to them.
Working from daytime till midnight, volunteers work hard in order to comfort disaster-affected residents, hoping they can return to their normal life soon.
In August this year, Tzuchi volunteers in Taidong set up the Guanshan Assistive Device Platform. One of them is Zhuo Xionghua, who drives a recycling truck every day to collect assistive devices back to the recycling station, helping more families in need.
Electric medical beds are helpful to patients' family members, yet the device itself is expensive. Without help, these family members aren't able to afford the devices.
At the time, I was worried that I needed to spend a lot of money. I didn't know what else I could do. If I couldn't pay, I must ask for others' help. What do? But after knowing that I do not have to pay for the assistive device, I felt happy because this really helped us.
One recycling truck making its way to Chishang, Guanshan, Luye to collect valuable electric medical beds or assistive devices. After receiving these devices, the driver will transport the devices back to the recycling station, storing the items under a roof to prevent sunshine and rain.
From Brother Tailang, we borrowed a barren community center as a storage room. It's more convenient this way, and we can store usable items here without throwing them away.
I saw that there were many medical beds at the recycling station, and I needed to organize those, so I transported it to people in need.
It's very convenient, and I can work anytime.
Sometimes, assistive devices from Hualien, Taipei will arrive at Guanshan's assistive device platform, supporting volunteers as they help more people in need.
Some people may spend their weekends to care for the environment, such as organizing beach cleanups and other activities. Members of Society of Wilderness are such individuals as they found innovative and interesting ways to let the public realize environmental protection and carbon reduction are important and accessible with just a few actions.
A group of friends and children came to Yunlin Beach during Taiwan's long National Day holiday weekend. At the podium is Chen Renping, the founder of Hin Studio, who discussed various marine environmental issues in a simple way. He also educated volunteers about what to pay attention to when cleaning the beach.
We want everyone to think that beach cleaning is not only picking up trash. We want them to have this habit of beach cleaning every day. In fact, the reduction of garbage in daily life is closely related to cleaning beaches.
Today, the volunteers who came to clean the beach come from all over Taiwan. Though they don't know each other, their love for the marine environment is what brings them all together.
I like nature very much since I was young. Later, I studied subjects related to the sea at National Ocean University. After I graduated, I did some research work and gradually got closer to the sea and discovered its problems. So I hope that through these activities or education, more people can understand the problems.
Guo Fu is Chen Renping's wife and his most powerful partner.
Everyone knows that a couple will quarrel. We do also. We just want to make things better or be considerate to each other. Like I just said, it takes a lot of energy to do these things. He might want to be considerate of me and call me to get some rest. But what I want is to put some more efforts in environmental protection.
我们减了529公斤，掌声鼓励一下！大家真的超认真，这大概一个人平均要减到10公斤了。
These are the bobbles used by fishermen, and these are bottle caps. We use this for the frame because it is more obvious. After the frame is finished, we'll fill in some of the larger things.
When we pick up rubbish, we really think maybe we can use these things someday, so we thought of craning them into the office, making it like a warehouse.
The interesting rubbish picked up during the beach cleaning has become the artwork on the walls across Taiwan.
This Ankomi medicine is still good. This is all the trash we picked up. We just reuse it. Otherwise, it will go back to the garbage dump and into the same loop and appear on the beach again.
Chen Renping took a group of people to tour various places, hold lectures and activities, allowing more people to know what is wrong with the current state of our environment. He believes that education is really important, in addition to daily eco-friendly practices. Hin Studio also launched a beach cleanup in Xiaoliuqiu to promote environmentally friendly tableware. In fact, the great cause of environmental protection for the earth is very closely associated with the daily lifestyle of the public.
The things I grow are all very big. For example, the average sweet potato leaves are like this, but my sweet potato leaves are much bigger. The average taro is about this high, right? Mine is about 180 centimeters.
Palm-sized sweet potato leaves and the taro that are taller than humans are all crops grown by Mr. Guo, who makes compost from the kitchen waste at home. His leaves perform photosynthesis and produce more oxygen, which can sequester carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
Extreme climate is really happening every minute and every second. It's happening in every corner of the world. It's happening now. Taiwan as an island country is surrounded by the sea. Our current sea level is rising. If we compare to other countries in the world, our sea level is rising twice as fast as the world's average.
Daily power savings, waste reduction, and carbon footprint reduction are all seemingly small habits that can slow down the rate of global warming.
In terms of clothing, food, housing, and transportation, we should try our best not to buy too many things, as we don't need to buy so much. Or when we buy, we try to buy simple or locally produced items, or those that are more natural, such as cotton or linen.
Global warming and extreme weather are now the norm, and the awakening of mankind to this issue can no longer wait.
In fact, many things are imperceptible to us, but are very urgent. We must not give up, because giving up is the simplest thing in the world to do. And never giving up is what we should persist with to save the environment.
60-year-old Mr. Zhang suffered from myocardial infarction and regained a new life after undergoing heart transplantation. He is grateful for the donor and vowed to do more good deeds for the benefit of sentient beings. We'll leave you with these images. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.